Hello. Welcome to the world according to Steph. Love and Light, Truth 18. Hey, we're moving along here, aren't we? Well, it's warm here. Wow, man. We're warm, okay? It's gonna start being like 85 around here now. Something really wonderful happened today. Actually, it was a few days that it took for this to occur. But uh, my mother finally got to face talk to me. And there was no reason why she couldn't have done it sooner. None whatsoever. But my sister and my dad didn't know how to do it. And I wasn't up there to show them how to do it. And for some reason, my sister's children don't help her with this. I'll never understand that. But anyway, Mom got to see her daughter, who she hasn't seen in about close to 3 years now. Yeah. And you know, it was so wonderful to hear my mother say, "You're beautiful, you're beautiful." And I'm 60 years old. But you know what? I don't think she meant beautiful physically in any way. I think she meant beautiful in my heart. That's what I believe. I honestly do. I know my mother. When we were children, she would say, beauty is in the heart. And you know, it was weird to have my mother be like that, because at other times she seemed so difficult and hard. And I understand why today, but you know, back then we couldn't figure it out. So anyway, I wasn't planning on doing this today, but I started working on my blog. Yep. I don't know if I should tell you the name of it. I'm on the second page, and it seems to be just rolling out of me pretty good. And when it's rolling out really good like that, it means that this was the right time for me to start writing it. And I am. Now, I'm writing it on my regular laptop so I can get it into Word, and that's where I keep most of my documents. And then I transfer them over to wherever I want them. But anyway, I hope you enjoy what I'm going to write, what I am writing. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you understand it. I hope you get something out of it. I really do. I feel it's an important project. I really do. And I've been thinking about it for months. I've been talking about it for months. And I've been thinking about it for months. Months and months and months. Okay. When I write, I research. And you never know how that research is going to be. You never know how you have to go about performing that research. Sometimes it's simply listening to other people, like Socrates. Comparable to that. Sometimes it's watching how other people do things, like I have been. In fact, I've been watching some of this for over a year now. Definitely over a year. And it's just been slowly but surely forming into my mind what I feel needs to be said. I think our world is suffering from something that we've been through before. You know, life repeats itself. It seriously does. And the problem is we don't stop that. We don't change it. But on the other hand, maybe we're not supposed to, because it does repeat itself, but yet it's not quite the same. So maybe we're supposed to let it repeat itself so that we can slowly but surely get to the point that I am going to discuss in this blog that I'm writing. Now, one of the big things that it really irritates me beyond any words, there are no words. I hate it when the churches or anything tries to make people feel fearful. I mean, I hate it. And the other night, I couldn't sleep. So I got online. I have a computer on my bed, believe it or not. Yes, I do. And it's a laptop. It's the one that I'm writing my thing on. But I decided to get on YouTube and watch some of the stuff that's on YouTube right now. And I thought, oh my God, where is all this coming from? And surely, you know, the sad thing about it is so many people have watched it. At least it says that they have. And I don't understand. I really don't. What is the intrigue of watching that? Because what I watched was not truth. It was crap. I'm going to say it like it is. It was crap. It was not truth. It was measures to put fear into all of you. Fear. Well, fortunately, I know some of you, and I know that a lot of you that I know won't let that happen. You will not believe that crap. And it is crap. I'm going to call it what it is. Okay? It's crap. Now, I care about all of you. I really do. Even the ones that treat me badly. I don't care. You're a person, and every person is worthy of care. Well, anyway, so after watching these things, I realized, okay, well, they were going to do it one way. I read an article a long time ago about what they were possibly going to do. Well, that turned around, didn't work. So now they're doing it this way. They're putting all these strange YouTubes up there. They're almost comical, okay? In fact, I hope that some of you look at it that way. It's comical because it's not real. Come on. You cannot possibly believe some of this stuff. Please tell me you don't. Okay, now let's get on with the real stuff. So, Mom and I saw each other physically today. And that was important because, unfortunately, I doubt if I'll be able to take a trip to over 2,000 miles away to see my mother, to say goodbye. Because they say my mother is dying, and I believe it. I know she is, but, you know, she's a fighter. She hasn't died yet. They said she was going to die 2.5 years ago, but she's still right here. But here's the bad part. My dad is starting to have some of the same problems my mother is having. Physically. I mean, not mentally. Well, he does have some dementia. What 83-year-old doesn't? I'm 60 and I know I've got some. But anyway, things are getting a little worse for him. It's not just the dementia. It's he's acting like his heart, or having problems with the heart. So on Monday, he's doing the major test, the really heavy-duty test, on the treadmill. And I actually can't picture this with my dad, but it's got to be done. It really does. And they've given him medicine for his heart and his blood pressure. And I guess my sister told me that it is helping. So that's the good news. And of course, he did collapse not too long ago. And but the point here is this. My parents are probably dying. At least one of them is supposed to be. And we figure that because my father is so attached to my mother that he's not going to make it. He just isn't. I'm sorry. I don't believe he is. And neither does my sister. She's been watching him. She knows. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of people out there, all of you, have gone through situations like this. Very difficult. Horribly difficult. You know, in some ways, I was lucky about my son. It wasn't a long disease that killed him. It was a whoop, hit ya, and down you go. And he was dead. You know, it was just all of a sudden, and he was dead. Now, that's what could happen to me too, because I've had a brain aneurysm and all that wonderful stuff. And the thing of it is, they haven't been checking the brain like they're supposed to be. And I talk about it with my one doctor, and he agrees. But I've decided I'm just going to put it off for a while. And we'll just have to wait. But anyway, are we left here for a reason? That's a question. I had an aneurysm so bad, it ruptured. Left quadrant. I have 4 stents on that side. The question is, why am I alive? Even my neurosurgeon that I got after I had the operation, and he saw all the write-ups on it, said, I don't know why you're alive, because you should be dead. You should not be alive. So, here I am. And you know, there's my mother. She's alive. So let's look at this a minute. So apparently the doctors don't know everything, right? They're going on statistics. That's what they're doing. They're playing a guessing game, okay? It's like, how many times have you heard someone say, well, I got this kind of cancer and they said I only had 5 years and I've lived another 15 years and I'm still here. I've heard a lot of people say that. Mm-hmm. Yes. But then we have the other side of the coin. My best friend died. Boom. Out of the blue. And he was only, 45 when it happened? Just died. And it was horrible. I mean, we never in a million years thought that was going to happen. He had horrible epilepsy, horrible seizures. Oh, guess what? I have horrible seizures too. Almost every night. I think a lot of his were at night too. But I'm not afraid. That's life. I'm grateful for every day that I have. I'm just going to be grateful for that. How's that sound? And you know, when I saw my mother, I felt that from her, that she's grateful for every day that she has. It was wonderful. It really was. She is so cool. She has become a very different human being than she was 20 years ago. And so have I. So have I. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, guess what? It's early, but we're going to do some reading time. How's that sound? We're going to not sit in fear. We're not going to do that. We're not going to let our leaders make us fearful. Okay? Oh, one last thing before I get started on the reading. I watch the news a little bit more than I used to. I don't know why, I just started doing it. But anyway, our president here in the United States went to visit Russia, and then he went to visit the Pope in the Roman Catholic Church. Remember that, Roman Catholic Church. Rome's still there, okay? They just made it a religion, that's all. Okay, well, we won't go there. I won't keep going there, all right? But here's what I noticed. They interviewed him. I don't know who it was, but it was CBS, and they interviewed him. And the president couldn't even look into the interviewer's face. He kept looking down the whole time. Down. Now, I can't even bend my neck the way he could. I'm all fused. But he never would look at the interviewer, and he just kept looking down. Now, that happened with both interviews. And when he talked, he stumbled through the interview. He stumbled. His words were not clear. His communication was not clear. Now, that tells me a lot. It tells me that something is going on. and he's lying through his teeth. That's what it tells me. I don't know what it is, but I know something's going on. And he is a liar. He is lying. Yes, sir, you lied. And if you didn't lie, I apologize. But I feel, it is my opinion, that you are concealing something. Otherwise, you would have looked that man straight in the face and you would have not stumbled your words ever. You know, I don't use a teleprompter or anything, but it's very rare for me to stumble my words, isn't it? And I'm not a famous person. I don't know who's going to watch this and who isn't, but I don't stumble my words. Hardly ever. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because I think it's very important. It's our country. It's our president, for heaven's sakes. Our president. Now, I think we should be a little watchful and a bit concerned. But I don't know about what. I can't tell you about what. But I can honestly say that what I saw was not good. Alright, let's do a little reading about that idea. I hope this one is not down where I can't read it. We'll find out here in a minute. If it is, I got another book I can read to you that's really cool. Okay, it's down, but I think I've got enough here I can read, okay? Alright, here we go. Now, I started out with, in other words, this was about the meek inheriting the earth, okay? It's a long one, and I started the last one, I ended it here. In other words, your earth means the whole of your outer experience. And to inherit the earth means to have dominion over that outer experience. That is to say, to have power to bring your conditions of life into harmony and true success. Very important here, okay? All the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. Alright? His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed, prayers, shall inherit the earth. Now, the Lord reigneth, let the earth rejoice. So we see that when the Bible talks about the earth possessing the earth, governing the earth, making the earth glorious, and so forth, it is referring to the conditions of our lives, our bodily health, outwards to the farthest point in our affairs. So this text undertakes to tell us how we may possess or govern to be masters of our own lives and destinies. Now, let us see how it is to be done. The Beatitude says that dominion, that is power over the conditions of our lives, is to be obtained in a certain way, and in the most unexpected of all ways, by nothing less than meekness. The fact is, however, that this word, meekness, also is used in a special and technical sense. Its true significance has nothing in common with the meaning it now bears in modern English. Actually, there are few There are few very unpleasant qualities in human nature than the one that is nowadays denoted by the word meekness. To a modern reader, the meek suggests a mean-spirited creature, devoid alike of courage and self-respect, of no use to himself or anyone else, crawling over the face of the earth like a worm, and probably hypocritical and mean as well. It suggests Dickens fawning Uriah Heep at worst, and one of the same author's downtrodden, broken-spirited morale wrecks at best. But Dickens always holds such characters up for warning or ridicule, and never for emulation. The modern reader, with these connotations of the word in mind, comes to the Sermon on the Mount and rejects the teaching that it gives, because here on the threshold he is told that dominion is for the meek, and this doctrine he cannot accept. He cannot accept, okay? Are you with me on this? Because this is important right now, okay? The true significance of the word meek in the Bible is a mental attitude for which there is no other single word available, and it is this mental attitude which is a secret of prosperity or success in prayer. It is a combination of open-mindedness, faith in God, and the realization that the will of God for us is always something joyous and interesting and vital, and much better than anything we could think of for ourselves. This state of mind also includes a perfect willingness to allow this will of God to come about in whatever way divine wisdom considers to be best, rather than in some particular way that we have chosen for ourselves. This mental attitude, complex in analysis but simple in itself, is the key to dominion, or success in demonstration. There is no one word for it in common speech, because the thing does not exist except for those who are upon the spiritual basis of the Jesus Christ teaching. But if we desire to inherit the earth, we must absolutely acquire this, quote, meekness, quote. I just told you what it was. Open-mindedness, faith in God, and the realization that the will of God for us is always something joyous and interesting and vital. Got it? Okay? Because this is important. Really important. Moses, who had such extraordinary success in prayer, he overcame the old age belief to the extent of manifesting the physical body of a young man in the prime of life, when according to the calendar he was 120 years old. Wow. And then transcended matter altogether and dematerialized without dying. was known preeminently for this quality as meek as Moses. Moses, we remember, apart from his own personal demonstration, did a marvelous work for his whole nation, getting it out of Egyptian bondage in the face of incredible difficulties. For the successful Exodus was a demonstration of Moses and a few advanced souls who were helping him. And just one little word there. I saw a little show just the other day, yesterday I think it was, talking about, well, maybe it was extraterrestrials doing all this. It was us. We have great power within us. And we must realize that. And until we do, we're going to die young. We're going to get ill with really bad stuff. We're not going to be happy. We're going to feel alone and empty, and it's going to be terrible. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm telling you from my own experience. It doesn't have to be that way. Not at all. I live alone and I'm happy as can be. And suddenly I have friends all the time wanting to be with me. Now that says something, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm not saying I'm like Moses, but I'm saying that I believe and I remember what was told to us, that we have not even begun to get where we are supposed to be. But with Moses, he had, where was it? And he had a demonstration of Moses and a few advanced souls who were helping him. Advanced souls, people. But they were advanced. Okay. And influencing the whole subsequent course of history by his teaching and his deeds. Moses had an open mind, ready to be taught new things and new ways of thinking and working. He did not reject fresh revelation because it was novel and revolutionary as most of his self-satisfied colleagues in the Egyptian hierarchy would have done. There was a special deal about Moses that made him that way. Now, you'll hear it from me in a minute. He was not, in the beginning at least, free from serious faults of character, but he was too big for intellectual or spiritual pride, and therefore he gradually rose above those defects as the new truth worked in his soul. Moses was not taught from being a child. When he was a child, he was supposed to be a king. He was taught stuff that we don't even know about. Or at least most of us don't. Maybe somebody does. But the Egyptians were really amazing people. They truly were. And Moses learned a lot of their secrets. In fact, he was taught in them. Okay. And so when he learned about his real heritage, who he really was, he worked at it. He wanted to learn about it. He wanted to believe in it like his real brother and his real sister and his real mother. And you know, it's kind of funny. I had 3 children too, and I had to let go of one of my children. Just thinking about that. Although, unfortunately, it wasn't Moses. I'm just playing with you. Okay. Moses thoroughly understood that to conform oneself rigorously to the will of God, far from involving the loss of any good, could only mean a finer and better and more splendid life. He did not, therefore, think of it as self-sacrifice. But a lot of those people did, and they still do. I'm sorry, but they do. They really do. The ones that I've met. Okay, so, but I think things are getting better. I really do. Okay? All right, now, far from involving the loss of any good could only mean a finer and better and more splendid life. He did not, therefore, think of it as self-sacrifice, for he knew it to be the highest form of self-glorification in the true and wonderful sense of the word. The self-glorification of the egotist is the mean vanity that leads at last to humiliation. True self-glorification, the glorification of God, the Father in me, He doeth the works, I in thee and thou in me. Moses had a wonderful understanding of the power of the spoken word to call forth good, which is scientific faith. Scientific faith. He was one of the meekest men who ever lived. And no one, excepting our Savior, has inherited the earth to a greater degree. There is a marvelous Oriental saying that meekness compels God Himself. All right, that's it on that one. We're going to start on the next one next time I get around to it. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. But that's for the next one. So we're done. This was a goodie. Come on, you gotta admit, this was good. Right? Really good. And I was almost out of power on that too. See what God does for us? Alright, now, I want you to remember something about me. I am not of any religion, okay? I am not of any religion, period. But I believe in the holy books. Books. Got it? There's more than one. Uh-huh. Yes, I believe that. I love all of you. Okay? You have a great day. Bye.